Welcome to the news review segment on the AM show. Now, this morning we have 3 guests to help us review the news stories. First, we have Kojo Poku, who is energy analyst, joining us via Zoom. Kojo, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. We also have Joe Tete. He's an aspiring NUG secretary, and he's here in the studio with me in a quest to include the youth in the discussions on topical and national issues. Joe Tete for short, right? Joe T for short. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and later on we'll be joined by Shamima Muslim, and she's a member of the NDC communications team. So like we usually do on the AM show, we gave our guests a minute and have 2 minutes tops to walk us through any topical issue or anything that really occupied their mind. But I want to start with Kojo Poku, and then I'll come back to you in the studio. Kojo, take us away. Your 2 minutes take.
Hi, good morning and good morning to your viewers. I just want to say a big thank you to the Bono region and the Bono East where we are. You know, the back of possibilities. The DMB bus has gone through the Bono region, and we are now in Techiman, basically going through the nooks and crannies of the Bono East to make sure that the bus of the possibilities message, the bold solution for a brighter future, is heard by all and the youth. And it's going very well. I mean, most people, like I keep saying, Accra is an echo chamber of its own. And they sit in Accra and said, oh, MPP is going out of power. Nobody supports MPP. They should travel and see what's happening in the countryside.
Okay, travel and see from Kojo. Jyoti, what will be your take?
Thank you so much, and a very good morning to your cherished viewers. I'm very concerned about the Galamsey issue that is happening, and in fact, it's actually deteriorating our country and our water bodies, and I'm pleading that there should be a solution that can help solve our issues, our water issues and health issues that is destroying our water bodies and our natural resources. And secondly, I also want to extend my regards or greetings to the over 12.5 million NUG students. And I want to say a very good morning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's get straight into our newspapers. I will start with a daily graphic. On the front page, Ghana ready to host best ever African Oil Week conference in 2025. PIAC holds workshop on solutions to crude oil production dips. On managing public sector wage bill, wages must match productivity. That is according to the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission CEO. Finance Minister welcomes Moody's upgrades. On technological breakthrough, MIIF, UMAT collaborates to clean polluted water bodies. Let's start from page 3, where the Fair Wages CEO is saying that wages must match productivity. In fact, let me read a bit of the story. So the public sector wage bill must be reformed to match productivity to performance of workers. The Chief Executive Officer of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Benjamin Arthur, has advocated. Such a move, he said, would ensure that workers were adequately rewarded based on productivity, which would be a form of motivation while helping the country to efficiently manage the public sector wage bill. Mr. Arthur was speaking in an exclusive interview with Daily Guide, and while stating that single-span salary structure had helped to manage discrepancies and disparities in public sector wages, he said it was time for the country to focus more on the output of workers instead of just the input. I'll add one more story to this and then we'll discuss. The Finance Minister is welcoming or accepting the rating of Moody's, upgrading us from stable to positive. And he reads, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, has welcomed the positive ratings assigned Ghana's economy by Moody's, a ratings agency, describing it as a positive development. The minister said the upgrade of Ghana's long-term local and foreign currency issuer ratings to CAA2 from CAA3 and CA with a positive outlook was a very positive development. Quote, in fact, this is Ghana's first rating upgrade since February 2022, he stated. And I remember how the government was aggrieved, vehemently rejecting the rating in February 2022, saying it was inaccurate, didn't match or didn't reflect the actual situation on ground. But it's good to know that the finance minister is accepting this one whole and heartily. Let me start with you, Jyoti. What do you make of these two stories? First, the CEO of Fair Wages Salary saying that productivity should match wages, and then the ratings from Moody's and the finance minister accepting it.
Thank you so much. I would like to speak on the second aspect. Clearly, you could see that our economy is still in crisis. And with what Moody's have given, I believe is still not enough because we still need more work to be done. If you look at our...
Just for context, what indicators are you using to say that the economy is still in crisis?
I mean, we are still having other issues that is happening in our economy. I mean, in terms of productivity, it's very low. I mean, the rate of productivity is very low. People are still complaining. Inflation rate is still going up each and every time. And there's a lot of youth unemployment in our country today. So if today we are to rely solely on Moody's, and that would give an indication to the future, I believe the finance minister needs to come clear. I'm speaking from the youth point of view, and I'm saying that as a youth activist, I am suggesting that how is this Moody's really reflecting the productivity of our country today? What impact is it making in our country or in our development today? I mean, with all this, I believe that whichever indication Moody's is giving, what are some of the plans or we are working on that can help us to have proper solutions to be able to solve and increase our productivity in our economy?
Okay. Kojo Poku.
Well, my sister, if you are gonna bring a youth activist on your show who wants to speak on issues of the economy, at least the least he can do is do his research. Inflation is down on the upwards of 50% to now projected to be 18% in the coming weeks. When we say that the economy is doing well, we are looking at the trajectory in which it is on. And if the economy is on the backward, we say that, okay, it is not doing well because if you look at the forward, and that is what Moody's is saying. I personally am not a fan of Moody's. I think that we should concentrate on what we do in Ghana and make sure that we provide for a sustainability and a country that can stand the shocks of the external economy. But let's not sit on TV and try to make it look like things are not getting better. When you talk about unemployment, this is the only government that since independence have provided more jobs for the youth than any other government. So please, I mean, let's put some of these things in context.
Okay,
it is very
Kojo, you said inflation is projected to
18% in the coming 18% in the coming weeks.
Projected, but as we speak, it is not
now,
18.
Right now it's 21.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's projected to be 18%. So it's on a downward trend. We were in a height of 54. Okay.
Well,
so
as of September, I'm looking at the month to month. As of September, it was 20. And October, we are 21.
Exactly.
So that's an increase.
That's why, what I said, project, you see, if we talk about trajectory, so the path that we are on the right path. Inflation is coming down. We've gone through the worst. I mean, we've gone through when it was climbing and climbing and climbing. Now, everybody can admit that now it's on the right path. And that is why the minister says that it's good news. Look, like I said, I'm not a fan of Moody's, but we need to take that as a win. Okay, when the external people who looked at you and said, look, they're not doing so well, the outlook was no good. Now they're saying the outlook is positive. It's a good thing. A smart kid can only know they are smart if the teacher marks him 100%. So it's a good thing that we have Moody's looking at Ghana and saying that, look, outlook is good. Let me talk briefly about the fair wages. Look, we keep looking at this thing from the employee point of view. Let's look at it from the employer point of view. When we say that productivity has to be matched with wages, what they are trying to say is that the employer is being paying, and productivity is low. As somebody who employs over 70 people in this country, the problem that we employers go through in trying to get the best out of the people we employ is a problem. So people not being attentive to work, coming to phone and staying on their phone all the time, you give them assignments, instead of them reporting back by close of day, it's taking them 2 days to report on those issues. It's a challenge. So right. I welcome a move to find a way to measure productivity, to now match it. If you're not doing well at work, you don't pay enough.
Thank you so much, Kojo. You wanted to say something briefly before we go to other stories?
Yes, we can go on.
Okay, so let's do some other stories still from the Daily Graphic, and then We'll move to other papers. So EC begins voter register re-exhibition online today. The Electoral Commission will, from today, October 15th, conduct its online re-exhibition of the Provisional Voters Register. And this will end on Saturday, October 19, 2020. Please take note. So, starting from today, the EC will be exhibiting the Provisional Voters Register online, and it will end on Saturday. Quote, political parties are required to use the template provided by the Commission to submit any discrepancies identified during re-exhibition period. And this is coming from the Electoral Commissioner herself. During the 5-day re-exhibition period, voters can check their details via the short code *711*51# free of charge, or visit the EC's website, www.ec.gov.gh. Quote again, voters should click on the pop-up link at the bottom right corner of the screen and enter the 10-digit voter ID number to receive their voter registration details. Pick a copy of the daily graphic for yourself and get into the story and the details of that. But from today, do start checking your details and let us know how effective that has been. There are some other stories here, like NDC eyeing 11 parliamentary seats in the Upper West region. And violent extremist organizations expand influence. That is on the international front. And don't engage in acts that will mar December polls, according to Ochinhini, his advice in electorate. That's for the daily graphic. Let's move on now to the Ghanaian Times newspaper. On the front page, big boost for mental health as government adds 4 disorders to the National Health Insurance Scheme benefits packages effective November 1st. And, of course, the story here about the EC to print 19.1 million ballots captures 18.7 million on provisional voter register. And we are eternally grateful for development of Savannah region. The Yagbonwura applauds President Akufo-Addo. Let me start with this story from page 13 on the National Health Insurance Scheme and the addition of 4 disorders to the benefits package, and it's on page 13 over here. So the government has expanded the benefits package of the National Health Insurance Scheme to include 4 mental health conditions. These are depression disorder, bipolar disorder, anxiety disorder, and schizophrenia disorder. Implementation of this significant addition will take effect from November 1st, 2024, with a coverage involving outpatient services and the initial acute hospitalization stage, says the Chief Executive Officer, that is the CEO of NIA, Dr. Da Costa Abuaje. And the latest move is noted was part of a broader national strategy aimed at addressing mental health gaps and accelerating delivery of universal health coverage. One more story and I'll come to you, Kojo. EC to print 19.1 million ballots, captures 18.7 million on provisional register. The Electoral Commission has released the ballot statistics to guide the printing of presidential and parliamentary ballot papers for the 2024 December elections. Per the data published by the Commission, a total of 19,149,287 ballot papers are to be printed for each of the presidential and parliamentary elections across the 40,975 polling stations. Kojo Poku, National Health Insurance Scheme and EC.
Again, our brothers on the other side are making noise about the printing of the ballot. And look, may I have a simple advice for the NDC? They either get out there and campaign or don't take part in the election. Whatever they do, there is going to be an election on the 7th of December. So this thing where, look, they sat...
Come again. So whatever they do, they're going to do what?
I said they should get out and campaign and stop this puff, 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 puff every time EC does something. You know, you remember this whole thing about the audit? They now went and put their tails between their legs, and now they are going back on trying to make a big fuss over printing of ballots. They should go out and campaign and stop these things and disturbing us. Look, let's move on from that. Now, let me make a point on the National Health Insurance. I will congratulate and basically say the big good work to my brother Da Costa, who is heading NHIS now. Not far in the distant future, there was a government that collapsed the National Health Insurance. Today, the National Health Insurance is not only doing so well, paid all claims, paying all people who provide services, they are added more services that can be covered by the National Health Insurance.
All right, Kojo.
There is the childhood cancer. Please let me land on this one. There's the childhood cancer. There is the dialysis for over 60 years and under 18 kids that need dialysis. And today we are hearing that mental health is going to be covered under the National Health Insurance. It's a good thing, and I think Ghanaians should applaud this government for all the good work it's doing. Okay,
let's introduce Shamima Muslim into the conversation. Shamima, it's good to see you. Welcome aboard. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. So we've already started the conversations. We're doing the story about a big boost for mental health because government has added 4 disorders, mental health issues to the National Health Insurance Scheme, benefits packages. We also talked about the EC beginning the re-exhibition of the provisional voters register online today and how citizens can go online and check free of charge. And then there was a story about the CEO of Fair Wages and Salaries Commission saying that productivity should match wages. So maybe you can give us your 2-minute take and a quick reflection on these stories, and I'll come back to you, Jyoti.
Yes, yes. Well, good morning, viewers. Good morning. I just returned, as you know, from some campaign trips up in the northern region. So maybe in the middle of the program, I'll give you some highlights on the things we are finding out, the situation on the ground from the people themselves, the poverty and deprivation levels that I witnessed on my rounds. It's just too debilitating for us to continue to be dismissive about the lived realities. I just came in and I heard my colleague from the New Patriotic Party make some dismissive, remarks and tell NDC to go and campaign and stop making noise. Unfortunately, it doesn't lie in your mouth to tell us to go and campaign. With all due respect, sir, the NDC is on the ground. In fact, John Dramani Mahama is in the Upper West region as we speak, where Agenda 1111 is on course. Let me assure him that it will not take him to tell us to go and campaign, but we will be so vigilant. No, let me just remark to it. We will be vigilant because, you see, this is the very dismissive attitude of the New Patriotic Party that has landed Ghana where it is in the doldrums. He wants praise for the little gains that we are seeing in the economy, gains that are not reflective in your pockets when you go to the market. He's telling us that, where was inflation in 2016 when we're exiting? It was within the area of 15%. In this country, inflation went as high as 50%.
And now we're all the way down to 21.
Under their watch. And I'm saying that you go to the markets.
Yesterday,
when we talk about figures and I go to the villages, that inflation figure they are talking about is not reflecting in the hardships they are facing in the villages. Whole communities without light, without water. Whole communities cut out of the national development. And you sit on TV and make very disparaging, dismissive remarks about people's lived realities. So and you are telling your opponents that they should go and campaign. Your opponent is campaigning. And Ghanaians are listening to them. And Ghanaians will vote out the New Patriotic Party and their dismissive attitude towards their problems.
So what do you make of Moody's upgrade of Ghana's credit outlook from, stable to positive? Moody's has upgraded us. The last time, I think 2 years ago, it was a downgrade, and we were all in that role.
It was a downgrade for good reason, as we all know it, so because we all witnessed it.
It's an upgrade for good reason.
For the effect, we are looking at the effects of that upgrade. So is the upgrade all of a sudden opening up the international market? I mean, what is a bit of an anomaly is that we are in an administration that told us that Yetisikaso and we are in an administration that assured us that there was a lot of money at the Bank of Ghana to do development work. We are under an administration that assured us that they were going to deliver Ghana from a Gadgetsburg economy to a productive industrial-based one. We are under the leadership of Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia, who told Ghanaians here in this country called Ghana that we are a proud people and he is going to institute a Ghana Beyond Aid. This same government is today telling us to clap for them that under a DDEP program that they have implemented, which has brought untold hardships to Ghanaians and led to the loss of lives of pensioners and other people. People are in wheelchairs, in bedridden, stroke, as a result of the draconian. I'm almost done. As a result result of the draconian measures on this about this administration. Today, they are telling us that because of this debt exchange program, which has deferred their financial obligations to future governments, which has eased them a bit, and an IMF program that has brought in some amounts of money into the economy. They say we should clap for them. We'll clap for you, MPP. Well done. Well done. That so, today it is Moody's you look Jyoti, up to tell us that the MPP, the government can go back to the financial market, which is not even true, because they need to meet the conditions on which, you see, you can even, let me just wrap up. You can even say, so you can even say,
you have your time now to reflect.
Oh, you were talking before I came in, sir. You're a gentleman.
I want to touch briefly on the mental health. Yeah, because it's a really big issue in our country or in the youth are facing today. Clearly, if you look at our dispensation today and you look at the youth, especially the students, you could see that most of them are going through the cognitive model of depression. And clearly, you could see this cognitive model of depression, it's really, really hammering, and most of it causes a lot of anxieties, a lot of acute depression. Most of the students are going through. Some are even going through feelings and biases that they cannot even express. So clearly, you could see that I want to commend NHIS for this good work. And I believe that this mental health should not only be an awareness, but it should be something that it must be done consistently and something that we must prioritize and make sure that mental health should be prioritized in our country today, because a lot of mental health issues are going through in our country today. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Kojo Poku, I'll give you a minute to reflect quickly, and then we'll move on to other stories. I know you wanted to say something.
I just wanted to say that, look, this is a newspaper review. I mean, I don't see how my sister comes in charging and, wanting to bring up his NDC scarf so that everybody can see. We know you are NDC. There's no point bringing up your NDC scarf.
Kojo, thank you. She was reacting to the comments you made, saying that they should go and campaign.
You see the dissonance. He said we should campaign. We are in an election season. I bring my proud NDC scarf so that the Ghanaians would know that this is the umbrella of the youth. But don't speak, don't choose, speak and choose.
Let's cool off a second. Let's cool off a second. Let's do some other stories.
Please,
in the Ghanaian Times.
Hold your
Shamima, let's do some other stories.
The next time.
We are eternally grateful for development.
I know he's going to vote for
Let's do this. Grateful for development of Savannah region. The Yagbongra applauds President Akufo-Addo. Kwewu Abenahene Ejapong II resigns as ADB board chair over alleged improper conduct. That is the paramount chief of Kwewu, and also doubles as now former board chairman of ADB Bank. And First Lady Ghana's votes for Bawumia parliamentary candidate. NDC set for double electoral history in Eastern region, according to the regional chairman. And voters offered opportunity to check details one more time. St. Paul Basic School in Bolgatanga rehabilitated at 135,000 Ghana cedis. We need to enforce national standards to drive development. On the back page, it's a make or break affair for Black Stars as they face Sudan and Libya today. These stories in the Ghanaian Times. So let me come to you, Jyoti. First, give us the stories on the front page and any one story that catches your attention, and then we can review it.
Thank you. This is the Hawk newspaper. And Kufuor calls for academic action on Galamsey, and then Galamsey. And then also we have Cynthia.
Why do people call, is it Galamsey or Galamsey?
Galamsey.
Sometimes when I hear Galamsey, I'm thinking you're buffalizing the thing. Galamsey hits home. It says Galamsey, you know? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to correct you.
Yeah, Galamsey. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I think this is one story that is very, very, very interesting and is very sensitive to our country as we are living, because that has now been a phenomenon. And you could see clearly our former president, John Agyekum Kufuor, calls for academic action on Galamsey. And I want to, with your permission, I want to read this. He said that, in quote, "This is not merely a political issue. It's a national crisis that demands a collaborative effort. We need a multidisciplinary approach, and academia is vital in this fight," he asserted. Clearly, you could see that when we are talking about Galamsey, we shouldn't only look at one aspect of it, in as much as the major aspect is from the political view, that today it has really caused this canker. But I'm also suggesting that we need an academic action on Galamsey to make sure that, see, Galamsey is beyond political, it's a national issue. We all need all hands on deck to make sure that we rescue or we resolve our water bodies, because water is life. And
I'm curious to know what the academic action is. There's a story tell.
Yes. So,
but don't worry, I'll get into it later.
Yeah, so
there's a story tell what exactly the former president was proposing.
Yes, so what the president was indicating was saying, it was saying that to the academic community, so it was urging to step up and tackle the pressing issue of illegal mining, known as local Galamsey. So in a passionate address, Kufuor pointed out that while politicians have been in the spotlight battling Galamsey, their efforts are insufficient without the backing of academia.
I'm asking because UTAG is currently on strike, are they not?
Yes,
and that is also to, force the hands of governments to take immediate action against Galamsey. So what else should we be doing that constitutes academic action? But thank you for that. Let me throw this to Kojo Poku. Kojo, so the former president is saying we need...
UTAG, why are they on strike? Everybody can explain to us why UTAG is on strike. What is UTAG going on strike going to do to solve this menace?
They're sending a message across that until immediate action is taken, they will not return to the classroom. Something that organized labor was supposed to have done, but somehow it didn't happen. So UTAG took the lead.
Organized labor did the right thing. You don't expect medical officers, doctors and nurses to go on strike because people are saying that if we drink this, we will die. Then if doctors go on strike, what will happen? Won't people die the same way? So what difference does it make if doctors are gonna go on strike and people die? Look, the education, as my uncle, His Excellency Jekum Kufuor put out there, the education is to let people understand that there is a people lifestyle when it comes to responsible small-scale mining. Responsible small-scale mining, not to be confused with the irresponsible mining on our water bodies. I keep hearing everybody linking Galamsey with water bodies. It is not all, you see, because it is sort of, everybody calls small-scale mining, be it responsible or irresponsible. Galamsey, there are illegal mining that is not even near water bodies. What everybody is on and what the military is out there doing today on the Brim, on the Pra, on the Ankobra, the military is on the river, arresting and destroying all the shamfines and all the stuff that are on our river bodies. But the education that is needed and what UTAG is supposed to be doing instead of being on strike is to educate the Ghanaian public.
Okay. And
go into these communities and educate the communities on what they are doing and the determination that it is. We cannot fight this thing without the communities along the river bodies. Because look, I'll give you some small statistics. The Pra alone is 240 kilometers. There's no way anybody can pull the entire breadth of the Pra. The Ankobra is 180 kilometers.
All right, Kojo.
So unless communities in those areas are educated, and that's what UTAG is supposed to be doing, not being on strike.
Shamima, what do you make of this? Kojo says UTAG really should not be on strike. The former president says we need academic action.
It's in their interest for labor to be mute. In fact, the levels of high-handedness that we have witnessed under this current administration and all the subtle and not so subtle attempts to stifle dissent, as has been captured in the Afrobarometer report, which you have presented severally, an independent survey and study of the Ghanaian democratic situation under His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, which today pronounces Ghana as a country where the executive presidency is very high-handed and has presided over the erosion of accountability institutions. You see, Labour wanted to make a statement. Why do we even protest in the first place? You go on demonstrations, you go on protest to make a statement about your displeasure to a certain situation and you demand action and results. These are some of the major grounds on which we all go on a protest. Everybody agrees that where we are today, with the rate at which Galamsey has destroyed our water bodies and our forest reserves and land cover, is an existential crisis.
Right.
The NPP has been totally unable to fight Galamsey in any serious way, because as the information and the results and the reports have indicated, they are key agents within the structure, the rank and file of the New Patriotic Party, who are kingpins of this menace. How do you fight something that you are
But as we speak
an
today,
operator
Shamima,
of?
in fact, Parliament resumes today at AICC, and they are going to
do what?
They are going to repeal that LI 246.
Who brought that LI into force?
Oh, well, minorities also in Parliament, and it
don't say
passed.
that who has the majority. I'm saying that,
just,
look,
if
President Akufo-Addo wants to do something, he does it. All of us now know that Akufo-Addo does what he wants to do. Whatever he's committed to do, he does it. It was not you and I who came to assure Ghanaians that they will put their presidency on the line to fight Galamsey. Sweetie, it was not you who made that comment. I didn't either. It wasn't John Mahama. It was Nana Akufo-Addo who assured us of superior leadership because they had the able
as we
men.
speak, there are actually measures in place, are they not?
Did we have to be where we are? Sweetie, this thing that we are talking about, let's not make excuses. If it was NDC government today, I would expect you to be so critical about where we are now. Where we are in terms of the turbidity levels is over 100 times more than we were 2016. Was there Galamsey operations during the time of the NDC? Yes, there were. Had they not played politics then with this issue of Galamsey and had come on board for all of us to deal with it decisively, we will not be where we are. MPP likes to avoid responsibility for actions that they are directly complicit in.
Okay.
They are directly complicit in. Look, Labour,
you have to wrap up for me. For
Labour has shown that they are weak, they have no cojones. And I'm hoping that into the next administration of the NDC, a lot of the people who today are quiet and are unable to make serious statements to government, they will not immediately find their balls.
Shamima, I could
because
disagree
much will
with
be
you
the
that
pity.
I could
Much will
disagree
be the
with you,
pity
though, that Labour is weak. We saw their power in that to halt that sale of 40.
So what happened in this case?
Hold
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about SNIT.
Yes.
So in this case, what happened? UTAG is the only conscience of this nation. Because why? As a government, look, Labour sometimes has to get to a position where they prove to government that they are not easily swayed by persuasions.
Okay.
They could have gone on the strike for one day, because I am also a mother. I don't want a close down of our economy that will affect children in the hospital.
Let me quickly
But I'm saying that they ought to have shown government that we will not announce a strike action and then you take rash measures and assure us that, okay, we are going to take these set of actions. They should have made a demonstration of one day to prove to government that if they fail to implement, what are the results?
Right, so the New Republic...
You and I know that you
the
have
New Republic, Shamima, we run out of time. We run out of time. So the New Republic newspaper, NPP gangs open fire on NDC campaigners. Police accused of feet dragging the arrest of culprits as tempest boil. This is the only story I'll get into, but let me read the other stories here. Gold for oil policy not meant to save CD, says Napo. As running mates, flag bearer clash on major policy again. Serial scandal unfolds over mining license. Minister caught in deals with double-faced miner. And cash for shush. Bribery scandal hits TUC over aborted Aluta. The only story I want to get into here is... Shamima, cool down for me. NPP gangs open fire on NDC. It doesn't say where the story is, but hopefully I can find it right now. I don't know where it's happening. That's in Yeah, I found the story right here on page 4. So the police authorities have thus far only detained one of the gun-wielding supporters affiliated with the New Patriotic Party, the New Patriotic Party, who engaged in a confrontation with National Democratic Congress supporters on Sunday, October 13th, in Mamobi, within the Ayawaso North constituency. Okay, I know that, sorry. The apprehended suspect is presently in custody, cooperating with the ongoing investigation. A photo circulating online depicts one of the attackers donned in black attire and brandishing a firearm while taking cover behind a taxi. And although the identity of the suspect remained undisclosed at this time, there are allegations linking them to a prominent figure within the NPP's Ayawaso North constituency, though this assertion is unverified by this publication. Right. So this is where we are.
If it's unverifiable, why publish it? You see, that's the problem we have in this country with journalism.
You took the win out of my seal.
Hold on. Let me make my statement. You come to make this assertion, right? Then at the end say unverifiable. So why are you publishing?
And this is the new Republic.
Hold on. We have all seen videos of MPP car being stole. We've seen the video. So let's not try and make it look like an NBC newspaper will publish something and try to make it look like MPP has that. Look,
and you know that it's an NBC newspaper,
what's
right?
unverifiable is not that the people are not affiliated to the NPP.
They are non-affiliates of the New
verifiable. Hold on. What's unverifiable is the link to the NPP's Ayawaso North constituency big man.
Statement. He said, and read the whole story. The essence of the whole story is to say that an MPP person wouldn't let gun.
Yes, you have 30 more seconds. I'll come to you. You have 30 more seconds and we have to go.
If we allow the police to do their investigation, everybody is preaching peace in this election. We know we are going to win. And for me, what is ironic is that in Nima and Mamobi, in the past, there was no such thing. There is no way anybody MPP will enter into an NDC stronghold and even take a stone. Clearly, we've seen that there is a change. I was in Nima with Dr. Bawumia, and we saw the change in Nima and Mamobi. But you see, what we should not allow is the authorities to do their work. Let's stop getting in front of this thing and saying that, oh, MPP person, when it is unverifiable.
Okay, thank you. Points made. Terma, I'll come to you in a bit. Jyoti, quick reflections on this.
Thank you. Clearly, you could see that what's the sense of direction when it comes to our country here, because clearly you could see that everything that is happening here, the youth are involved. Look at the attack that has happened. Is the youth that are being attacked or they are attacking themselves? So I believe that this is beyond political whatever that we'll talk about by trying to say this newspaper is a MPP or whether NDC. We need to speak truth to power. Wrong is wrong. Why? Why would you even allow that for the youth to take gun and then be shooting themselves? This is so wrong. So clearly, we need to take the peace of our country very important. And you know, Mamobi and Nima some time ago has been known for a place where issues of ganging and fighting among each other has been happening. So we need to make sure that we protect ourselves. And this December election is coming up. So we need to protect ourselves. We need to make sure that the police should be up and doing, and make sure that all these wars and all these attacks among each groups should be mitigated as soon as possible. Okay. So please, we are suggesting that this whole fight among each other and this misunderstanding among political parties should be salvaged, and then the security must be strengthened, must be enforced. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti. Shamima, you have a minute.
The NPP wants to hold on to power at all costs. They know they are in a sinking ship. Nothing is going to salvage them. They are losing this election, and they want to foment trouble in their exit, in the wake of their exit. As you have rightly said, it is non-contested that the person who wielded the gun, who fired the gunshots, it's a known,
affiliated.
Well, it's a known member of the New Patriotic Party. He is a known member of the New Patriotic Party who was part of the team who were out there. You see, it is this same government that we witnessed a spectacle never before seen during the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election. Up to date, nobody has been held accountable for that brazen display of violence and arrogance and appropriation of state power to do what they did. We have unresolved issues. The NDC told the National Peace Council, if you remember, the 10-point demands we made about the unresolved matters involving electoral violence under the NPP administration. That we have not found. It is them who had their quasi-military agency besiege a court to release, to threaten and release a member of DS who had been held in Kumasi. This is the New Patriotic Party that we are talking about. They are capable of doing any and everything, and these are the signs that they are trying to project, because they have a modus operandi. They are trying to put fear in the voters so they don't turn up in their numbers.
But I do want you to do one paper for me.
Let me just assure the voters that the NDC is able to protect their votes. They must not fear the shenanigans of the New Patriotic Party. Kindly come out in your numbers. These are things they want to do to show bravado, and it is delusions on their part to think that they can hold on to power.
I would have to go back to Kojo for more time, Kojo, I understand you.
The MPP
one story
will not bully Ghanaians. They will not bully Ghanaians.
Shamima, please do the story for me. Let's go. We haven't touched this newspaper. Just the stories here. One story, and there we go.
About 800,000 jobs to be created upon completion of Petroleum Hub project. Tema Oil Refinery. What is the state of Tema Oil Refinery? 8 years of New Patriotic Party, we are unable to refine oil. An oil-producing country that was left 2 oil fields. Under their watch, they've not been able to add anything more. They have collapsed Tema Oil Refinery. Take their promises for patents. Until the NPP delivers on anything they promise to do, take it for pretense.
All right, so Kojo, the story here is the story here is that about 800,000 Shamima
unemployment under NPP.
Our audience want to hear us. Okay, so about 800,000 jobs to be created upon completion of.
Give us time to talk.
Shamima, we'll give you time to talk. About 800,000 jobs to be created upon completion of Petroleum Hub project. Shamima. Why? Kojo, I'll give you 1 minute to reflect on this.
If you want to make the news review an in-studio program, then let's make it an in-studio program. It's very unfair to have my sister come in the studio, trying to put up her NDC scarf, trying to now take all the...
You're using your 1 minute to talk about
I don't need to repeat most of the things that she has said. When my sister was speaking, she said that we've not added anything to our oil fields. There is Southeast Jubilee. Now, we all saw the commissioning. It's amazing how they don't see anything that.
How many barrels of oil have you added?
So you might have to mute you.
The most important thing is that we don't want them to see. We want the good people of Ghana to see what the NPP, and they see it.
They don't.
John Jennifer will say that we've not added 1 kilometer of pipeline of gas. Meanwhile, we've moved gas to the middle belt and producing electricity in Kumasi. So they don't see anything that we do. So it's good. The Petroleum Hub is on course. The people of Jomoro are very happy. We're going to put it on and then create jobs for the community in the Elembele and Jomoro enclave.
Jyoti, you have the final word.
Thank you so much. I would like to take this opportunity to say a very good morning to the over 12.5 million students in the National Union of Ghana students. And I want to say that my name is Tete Joseph, and I'm contesting...
Are you running for any position?
And I'm contesting as Milk Secretary for Education. I would like to take this opportunity to solicit for a vote come 19th October, this Saturday at the Islamic University. I'm number 3 on the ballot paper, and I need you to vote for me as the next Secretary for Education.
Okay.
And let's journey to education.
Your symbol is an
umbrella.
We
should be encouraging young people to take up leadership positions. I do not understand why you were laughing when he's simply trying to put out...
No.
Kojo, feel free to bring that.
I knew there was a campaign somewhere. The way he started, I knew there was a campaign somewhere.
But what are you doing right now? What is Shamima doing right now? That's all the time we have.
Kojo, please feel free to bring the elephant into the studio or keep the elephant behind you the next time, okay?
A member of the NDC communications team. Please mute Shamima for me. And we also had Kojo Poku, who is an energy analyst, as well as Joe Tete, who is...
He's an NPP person. Why is he
He's an energy analyst. Joseph Tete, Joti for short, contesting for Nuke Secretary for Education. Thank you so much for staying with us on the news review segment. Sports is coming up next with Mufta Nabil Abdullah. Hey, Shamima.